Hey guys, and welcome to Pheas Airsoft, where today I'm going to do a downgrade on how to downgrade video on how to downgrade the TK45. Hi guys, so today it's only going to be a short one, just to show you how to do a downgrade on the TK45. If you are enjoying my content, please do think about subscribing. It helps me keep producing videos like this. So to get started, I've got my TK45 here, which hopefully you'll have seen the other videos on, and I'm going to show you how to do a downgrade. The main thing you're going to need really is a flathead screwdriver, and that's just to help you get a plate off at the back. So first thing we're going to do is we're just going to remove the stock. So just depress it as though you were adjusting the stock normally. In fact, let's remove the battery cap, the end cap, and we're going to extend the stock all the way out. Now if you're in a real hurry, technically you can miss this step out, but it's always better, I feel, to get this out of the way. So pull the stock handle when it gets to the end and pull up or down on this part. There we go, and it removes the stock out of the way, meaning we've got full exposure to the back of the stock tube. Now this end cap here is all that you really need to do to get this out. So you can either use needle nose pliers to get in the holes here, or I found a flathead screwdriver works just the same, just to unscrew this end cap. Now effectively this acts as a spring guide, as you'll see in a second when this comes out. So this is just a normal thread that I'm undoing. This is not a negative thread, and I'm just unscrewing this end cap. Now there's a rubber bung on here, I assume to help with tightness and to help it not be vibrated out by the weight and everything. Now it has sprung out. Now that kind of looks like a spring guide a little bit, but a very short stubby one, so I'll get that out of the way a second. Next you need to keep hold of this and keep this spring safe. This is to help return the recoil weight, so we'll put that out of the way as well. Now if I tip this up, out comes the recoil weight and the spring. So there's the actual spring guide that it sits on, so this is technically the back of the gearbox, and obviously we've got the weight-based system here that gives you the recoil, and obviously there is quite some heft to that weight system there. So I'm just going to leave that there a second. Now this is the original spring that was in the gun. Now I know it's not ideal, and I have got a KWA CQB spring on its way to do the legitimate way of downgrading it, but what I've done here is I've used my Dremel with a cutting disc to just shave off a couple of coils from the spring. So I've shaved off about 2 full coils roughly from the end of the spring. It's probably close to 2 centimeters, 20 mil of spring there has been removed using my Dremel in 2 pieces, and that's given me about 340 to 345 feet per second on a 0.2 gram BB without the hop set. So I've been really happy with that, and it's settled quite consistently into that 5 FPS range that it always sits within those sort of values. So obviously that's quite an easy, simple way to, without any real cost, to do the downgrade. Now something else I've noticed is, historically I've owned Tokyo Marui recoil shock systems, and I recall that their springs were near identical to the springs that I've found in the TK45. Now what I had done is ordered an M90 and an M95, and I can tell you these springs are not anywhere near strong enough to give you close to that kind of FPS. This M90 gave me about 220 230 FPS, and the M95 gave me about 240 to 250 FPS. Obviously not too bad if you use close quarter CQB, it means you're not going to hurt anybody, but what I did notice is these 2 springs now are virtually identical length. The KWA is substantially tougher to compress than the M90 or the M95, so if you are going to get one of these Eagle 6 springs to do your downgrade, these are about £10 inside the UK, plus a little bit for postage and packaging. You want to be getting the springs that are in the range of M120 to M140 to get you close. Now I haven't got those springs yet. I have or intend to order the springs to trial those and give you a bit more feedback on those. but that is an alternative option to getting the CQB spring if you can't get hold of it. These are much more easily available and readily available, and they do post overseas as well. So all you do is, once you've sorted your spring out, you literally just reassemble it back onto the weight, and you very carefully just manoeuvre it back in. Now obviously on your way back in it may catch on something, just wiggling it around ever so slightly, and it will just very easily, really lightly, just slide back in there, and it should go probably almost an inch back in, probably about an inch back in. Then we just return the spring and the end cap, which we compress back into place. So initially I'm just going to use my finger to push it in with a little bit of tightness, get the threads working, and then as I approach the end, so I'm just thumb and finger twisting this, that's how easy going it is. Get the screwdriver back in there, the flat head, just to finish up the tightening up job. There, done. And I've just downgraded my TK45, so I bring the stock back in, feed the wiring back in. Just a point to note, hopefully if you've seen my review, you will have remembered that these screws can and do come loose during gameplay, so please make sure you tighten these regularly, especially if you're in for a downgrade. It's worth just giving them a tighten down, and if you have got some thread lock, use that as well to lock them down. So all we do is we push it on as far as it'll go, push down, and then get the bracket here, lift it up. You might want to use a screwdriver. It lifts up and clips into place, and there it is, nice and secure, back in place again. We can hide our wire in. Obviously at this point I could go and take it to chrono it, and it's ready to use. Stock cover back on, and it's now ready to rock and roll and use on site. So obviously that is how you can downgrade nice and simply, relatively cheaply as well, the brand new TK45 from KWA, which I've absolutely fallen in love with. Please do make sure you check out my unboxing and my review of this piece. It is a fantastic piece of kit. Thanks a lot guys, see you next time, bye.